We asked for your questions, and you delivered.
Hey, Clark Howard.
My question is,
I was wondering,
how can I increase my chances of...
Consumer advisor Clark Howard is hearing from people around the country.
I hear from people all the time who are saving at least $1,000 a year.
When everything feels so expensive, Clark shares his best advice for spending less, beating high prices.
The prices are getting up there.
And I feel like it's an arm and a leg.
And making simple changes.
So you always ask for one special thing.
This is Ask Clark, living affordably. Hi, everyone. So glad you're here. I'm Linda Stouffer here with consumer advisor Clark Howard. And Clark, you are taking questions directly from people about affordability. What does it mean to actually live affordably?
It's all about intention. You know, most people, when they're thinking about their money, they're only thinking about what feels good at that moment. When you're really focused on affordability, you're thinking through in advance how you're going to handle your money, where you're going to spend it, and most important, when you can actually afford to spend it.
So you are prepared, and we have a lot of valuable information to share ahead, including some resources that we think will be really helpful for you. Because we know from the data that a lot of people are struggling with the higher cost of living. In a new Gallup poll, 55% of people say their financial situation is getting worse, and that's higher than at any point in the past 25 years. So, Clark, people are really concerned right now about their finances and concerned about the future. What's causing the stress?
Absolutely the rebirth of inflation. Inflation is the worst it's been in the last 4 years. And we thought inflation had been put back in the bottle, but it's roared back out. The genie's out again. And for so many people, they cannot afford the cost of living right now. That's where that stress is coming from.
And that's why we need your help. Over the next hour, you are going to teach us how to be Clark smart with what we spend and show us how to save money. So let's get started right now. You ready? With groceries.
Absolutely. You know, before you go grocery shopping, I want you to spend 10 minutes doing the Clark method to save the big money.
We first interviewed Starla Bailey about food prices in 2022. She was living in an apartment with her son after selling her previous home and looking to downsize. The pandemic sidelined those plans. Since then,
life overall has been really well. We've since moved. We've bought a new home.
Bailey says she feels fortunate to be able to afford a home despite higher interest rates and home prices. However, one place she's had to be more flexible is at the checkout.
Years ago, I could choose my grocery store that I absolutely loved and take care of all of my needs there, but there's changes now.
Those changes directly affect your wallet. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, since January of 2020, just before the pandemic, to January of 26, milk has gone up over 26%, bread 36%, and chicken is up almost 45%.
I'm searching in the circulars for the items that are buy one, get one free.
I love supermarket circulars. Using those flyers can help you save before stepping out the door by using a reverse shopping list. Find the items on sale and plan your meals around the discounts. And if you don't have the paper copies, the Flip app has them all in one place. Another key to saving at the store?
I'm definitely switching to items that are not necessarily the big name brands. That has been able to save us some money.
When you compare the store brand versus the name brand, the savings can be huge. Walmart store brand whole milk was listed at $2.76 a gallon. Name brand, $4.57. Store brand bread, $1.42 a loaf. Name brand, $2.47. And chicken, store brand, $2.57 a pound, while the brand was $3.42 a pound. That's $6 of savings if you shop for the store brand on just 3 items.
It's more about what it is that is on sale and what benefits us financially.
And where you shop can make a huge difference. Using Walmart as a baseline, Consumer Reports found that your typical grocery store can cost you a little under 10 or more than 10% more on average. And shopping at the warehouse clubs, get this, can save you over 20% more on average. Just make sure to check the expiration dates on anything you buy in bulk, giving you plenty of time to use it.
I've seen our grocery bill almost cut in half. It definitely helps to feed that money back into your budget and to be able to really see where your efforts are paying off.
All righty.
Groceries can be so expensive. Life is so expensive right now. The more you can think through every bit of spending you do, the more money you're going to keep in your wallet. I want it to become a habit.
So it just may take a couple of minutes with yourself and with your list before you head out.
Right, and this reverse shopping list I talk about is so important in the grocery store. And with everyday stuff, one of the things I do, I don't grab a shopping cart when I'm in a discount store.
Okay, and we're spending more to eat out as well. Groceries
Yes.
are one thing, but eating out, how can we save when we're on the go?
So when people eat out, they do spend more and they don't eat as well, as healthy. So if you use the apps, you got so many apps on your phone you can use that will help save you money. And you know what I look at on those apps?
What?
The nutrition.
Okay.
Because I got to protect my heart. So I'm looking not just at the price, I want to make sure when I eat out that I don't mess up my health at the same time.
So being smart in a healthy way as well.
Absolutely.
So many people are using these buy now, pay later type programs, and we're even seeing more people do that with core spending like
Right.
groceries. What would you say about that?
It's rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic.
Wow.
When somebody starts using Pay in 4, it's a recipe for absolute disaster because a lot of it creates impulse spending you might not have done otherwise. So you're sitting there and you see, oh, wow, I can buy that. I'll just pay it in 4. And then the 4 payments come, you can't make the payments. So Pay in 4 is a trap.
You are not a fan.
I am not a fan.
Okay. We have a question now from someone in our audience. Judy, thank you for
Yes.
being here.
Thank you. Clark, I have to say that it is very stressful going to the grocery store.
Right.
And then I find myself going to 4 or 5 because you have to go for this and you have to
Right.
go for that. It feels as if groceries have tripled.
Right.
And so now when you leave a store, it's astronomical.
Right.
And I just want your advice on how I can get the cost down.
So going to 4 stores, I mean, that's a little too much commitment on your part.
Okay.
I try to get people to go 2 places and go to one that's a deep discounter. And that's why I love the warehouse clubs. That's why I love Aldi. That's why markets have Lidl. I love Lidl. But you can't get everything at those places. So you go to one mainstream supermarket for the things to fill out your shopping list that you bought at the discounters. And so if you do that as a habit where you split your grocery shopping, I just did it the other day, and it drives my wife crazy. But I went to 2 markets so I could save money. So I went to the deep discounter first, bought the things on our list I could get there, and then went to the regular supermarket to fill out the rest.
And then I have one more question about this, because when you go in the store, and as you said, it's not good to be impulsive, but they have things on sale. Is it
Sure.
best to try and bypass that and stick with your list, or should I be looking at those items?
So that's a great question, and there's even a term now that people use for it, splaving. When you con yourself into thinking, hey, I'm saving money buying this because it's a BOGO, buy one, get one free, or look at this discount. And you buy something you didn't intend to buy that may sit on the shelf and go bad waiting for you to use it. So if you see something that's a deep discount and it's something you know you'll use, something you know you'll eat, fine. Otherwise, walk right by.
And now, Clark, Debbie has a question for you. She's from Michigan. She has a concern about electric bills. She says here in Michigan, rates have increased. We're very conservative with our usage, but our bills just keep rising. And Clark, I have to tell you, we are getting so many questions about electricity and utility bills. What's going on with this?
So the problem is this. The cost of power is going up and away because of all these data centers. The data centers have changed the equation because power growth in the United States has been basically flat for a generation. And so power companies weren't having to put in more transmission lines, more power plants and all that. So you feel like a sitting duck because these prices have gone up so much. So here's the key. You do things you can control. And one of the easiest is if you're in a home, you want to get up in your attic. And you know what almost all of us will find?
What?
We don't have nearly enough insulation. Cheapest, quickest payback just about there is. You put in a computerized thermostat. That can cut your heating and cooling 20%. You check where there are drafts in your house. You fix around the windows and doors. You do those 4 steps, you'll be able to fight back against these higher bills.
Still to come, cell phone streaming and internet costs. Clark says the savings you can get will shock you. Buying a car soon, from quotes to junk fees, how to get the best deal. Timing is everything when shopping for a new place to live. That's next. Welcome back. Across the country, rent prices have spiked since 2020. NerdWallet says it's a combination of factors, including inflation and low inventory. In other words, not enough homes. And there are also barriers to home ownership, things like those higher mortgage rates. NerdWallet also says many prospective renters now want to live alone, and that drives up demand for available housing. So about that, Clark, Maya in Georgia has this question.
Hey, Clark Howard. My question is, how can everyday Americans be able to afford their rent with our everyday living wages on top of being able to afford groceries, insurance, and all of our other bills and not, become homeless?
Thank you for your question. I'm asked it a lot by people that are renters. I want to tell you the key here. Even though rents, looking back, have gone up so much over the last 6 years, apartment developers have overbuilt in most of the country. Few cities they have not. Think of the Seattle area, Boston, New York, but pretty much everywhere else, apartments are overbuilt. For you as a tenant, if you just go negotiate with your existing landlord, you're not going to save money. 6 weeks out from when your current lease ends, I need you to go shop the marketplace and see what's available. And your best deals are if you're willing to walk. What does that mean? That you're willing to tell your landlord, buy, and go somewhere else where they offer you a much better price. Because I can tell you, the rent deals are out there now.
And Sino from Seattle has a question about rent. Here it is.
Hi, Clark. How do I find an apartment for one person in the city that's under $3,000? That's so ridiculous.
But it's so ironic because I mentioned just a second ago, Seattle was one of the markets where rents are continuing to stay stubbornly high. My favorite for one person is you want to find in older neighborhoods in Seattle where there are garage apartments, possibly a basement apartment. The best deals usually for a single individual is to rent from someone who wants additional income at their house. And that works again and again as a way for it to be cheaper for you versus being in a traditional apartment complex or building.
You know, many people still believe home ownership, actually buying a home, is a part of the American dream, a way to build wealth. How can we decide if it's a really good time for us to buy?
The window that you'll own that home.
Okay.
Because right now in most of the country, the effective rent is half of what your costs are per month if you buy a home right now. That's why you see so many would-be buyers on strike. They're like, I'm not buying right now. The good news is that housing prices are softening around the country. That's realtor speak for houses are sitting on the market and people are having to cut their prices. About a third of houses on the market now have price cuts. So the market is improving, but even with that, since you would go in paying much more than you would pay in rent, what I want you to think about is a home purchase needs to be a 10-year window. People usually don't think of buying a home or a condo that they'll live in for 10 years, but 10 years will work out for you where a shorter home purchase will just hurt your wallet right now.
So in some cases, it is a better idea to rent, keep renting.
Definitely.
Okay. Christina from Texas has a question about home ownership and being able to just find an affordable house.
Hi, Clark Howard. I was wondering if corporations and investment funds continue to be allowed to buy private homes, what chance does a small homeowner have of getting their first house?
Okay. Yeah, there's been a lot of controversy about the corporate buyers, the private equity buying up inventory. Fortunately, the amount of homes they bought up it's a lot, but it's only 3% of the housing market that are in these corporate landlord hands. And the advantage is they may trigger more building, because what we actually need around the country is more homes being built. We are so short of construction, going back to the housing bust that really didn't work its way through the system until 2013. A lot of builders in that 6-year period of the housing bust went bust, and we just don't have enough people out there building homes. New inventory is what's going to solve the housing problem.
And we have another question from someone in our audience. Beatrice, welcome.
Hi, Beatrice.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello, Clark. In my work as a housing educator, I get to be asked by the attendees, how can we afford to be a homeowner these days? It seems now that home buyers has to be a joint effort, a two people, not an individual. So
Right.
I get that question a lot. What do you suggest?
I mean, you're right. Right now, in most major metropolitan areas, a single individual, even a modest earning couple, have trouble being able to afford the payments. I mean, their wallet wheezes on them. So a lot of people today are considering doing what Americans used to do routinely, and that's moving somewhere else in the country where housing is more affordable. A lot of the Midwest has housing prices that a single individual working a regular job can still afford to buy a home. And so if home ownership is the most important, and if jobs are plentiful where you're thinking of moving, that's how you get it done now.
Thank you, Clark.
Sure.
Let's turn now to an issue that affects so many people, healthcare. Medical bills quickly adding up. We have a question from Robin in Washington.
Clark, just tell me how to find affordable health care in this country.
Tell him, Clark.
It's like a comedy routine, because we don't have affordable health care in the United States, and our health care costs are much higher than anywhere else in the world, not even close. And so this is something we have been struggling almost through the dark with for now 2 generations. And everybody points fingers, and I'm not smart enough to come up with the best solution for it, but it's one that we should have solved by now. And so far, so bad. We have not been able to connect people to affordable health care in the U.S. And whoever figures it out, I promise, is going to win a Nobel Prize in economics.
And this is an issue that you are very passionate about. One thing that you've been looking at for people that have a lot of medical debt, charity care can really help.
No doubt. You know, the debt from a hospital visit can absolutely ruin you.
Yes! I was like, that's a blessing, dude.
Ruben Vidal has worked in the music and film industry for decades.
It's me when I was 17 with DMX, Jay-Z.
In 2023, he faced some unexpected financial challenges due to the writers' strike in Hollywood.
It was a very hard time for me.
He picked up some work, but it didn't provide the same level of income he was used to. And then one day, out of nowhere,
I had really, really bad chest pains I've never had in my life. I was in pain. I didn't know if I was dying.
Vidal rushed to the emergency room, and after multiple tests and x-rays,
heartburn. And I was shocked. I was like, I could have took Tums.
But his bill was no laughing matter. He was on the hook for $7,500.
I didn't know how I was going to pay it. It was really, really, really tough.
That's when a friend of his told him about $4.org, a nonprofit that helps individuals navigate medical bills.
They will reduce or sometimes even completely forgive your hospital bills.
Jared Walker is the founder of $4. He tells us that all nonprofit hospitals are required to provide charity care. Some for-profit hospitals also participate. And while income limits can vary, Walker says you should check to see if you qualify.
I'm probably not eligible for that, or that's not for me, and I probably make too much money. And people would be surprised at how generous some of these policies are.
And if your income levels are too high, you can still negotiate your bill down and ask to be put on a payment plan. Just make sure there's no interest and stay far away from any medical credit card offers from the hospital. $4.org allows you to look up the hospital you received a bill from, type in your details and income level, and see if you may qualify. They also provide free support along the way.
It's a problem that a lot of people face, and there is, no harm in seeing if you qualify. It takes a couple seconds and can really be life-changing.
For Vidal, it was. He was able to get his bill 100% covered.
People don't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. Thankfully, one of my friends did, and it helped.
The best step of all, when you need medical care non-emergency, is try to cut the bill down or get free care if you can. There's actually an association called the National Association of Free and Charitable Clinics that you can go to the site, put in your zip, and see what's available near you. The website, nafcclinics.org.
Still to come, Clark talks retirement when he wants you to get a financial checkup. Right now, college graduates all over are looking for work.
How can I increase my chances of getting a job?
The simple way to stand out to employers. And when buying a car, the one thing you should avoid telling a dealer. That's next on Ask Clark, Living Affordably. Welcome back. We're continuing to take your questions about living affordably. And Clark, we have gotten a lot of questions about cars. Richard from Georgia wants to know the best way to buy a new or used vehicle, online or in person, or compare both options. He goes on to say those junk fees the dealers charge, those are excessive. No reason dock fees should run around $1,000. So advice on buying cars.
Yeah, so anytime you're getting quotes, I want them always from your home. That's your home field advantage. When you go to the dealer, they've got the power. This is what they do every day. So you shop online, you shop by phone, you send emails, and then you get back quotes. You always ask for one special thing.
What's that?
You want to know the drive-out price or the price including all junk fees. You want those junk fees detailed so there's no question what it is you're paying for before you go to the dealer.
The drive-out
at the dealer.
The drive-out price.
Drive-out price, they call it in some places, others, you just say, please list all junk fees and taxes.
Okay. Donna from Massachusetts says, my car is 18 years old and I love it, but when the time comes for a new-to-me car, I'd buy used. Is it worthwhile to pay in full to avoid any interest charges?
All right, so this is a trick.
Okay.
You never tell a dealer when you're shopping for a new or used vehicle that you're a cash buyer. You wait till the deal is done, and only then do you disclose you're going to pay cash. The reason is the loans are very profitable for the dealers. So they will calculate that as part of the profit mix. And that's why that's not revealed till later. And if they offer you a screaming deal on a loan or maybe an extra lower price if you take out a loan, if it works for you, you could do it then.
Otherwise, surprise, cash.
Right.
Let's hear from our audience now. Alicia has a question for you, Clark.
Hi.
Hi, Clark. So my husband is 52. He's only purchased one car in life, and the last one was a gift. As we consider our next purchase, what should we consider as it relates to electric cars, gas cars?
So electric cars have been really unloved lately in the U.S. The market share was about 5%. But since the shooting started in the Middle East, the market share of electric vehicles has gone way up and big demand for used ones. But new ones are more expensive to buy than gas engine vehicles. They're more expensive to insure than gas engine vehicles. So if it's just about money and you're comparing used to used, I have a real bias for electric vehicles. But follow closely what Consumer Reports says about which electric vehicles or even gas engine ones they know have had good records of repair and which ones have not. And with electric vehicles, you can find this online pretty easily. You can know what things to look for to make sure that the vehicle you're considering has good battery health. You can run a diagnostic on it before you buy it. It's almost like having a mechanic in a gas engine vehicle checking out the engine and the transmission.
Thank you.
Certainly.
And you mentioned the cost of taking care of your car. Maintaining our cars can definitely cut into your bottom line, especially if you're looking at a big bill.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it costs so much money to fix cars, right? And who hasn't had this? Your engine light comes on, the cost to fix the issue could run you from a couple $100 to several $1,000s. So knowing what's wrong could put a lot of money back in your pocket.
It's not on right now.
Okay.
She comes and goes.
One of them did come on in my Chrysler right here.
Well, I think I would just stop the car and try to get to a mechanic as soon as possible.
Going to a trusted mechanic's an important part of this equation. But before you make that pit stop,
I was worried, but I said the Lord has it. I just got to get to AutoZone.
Many auto parts stores offer free testing to determine what a warning light indicates. If you have a newer car, the manufacturer app can provide more details and alert you when something's wrong. The issue might be as simple as a loose gas cap or
evaporative emission system, misfires, oxygen sensors, catalytic converters, transmission issues. Some of the safety systems will also cause the check engine light to come on.
These issues can lead to decreased fuel efficiency and may result in you failing an emissions test.
It doesn't mean that your car is about to cut off on you. Sometimes it can, but more often than not, it's just an indicator that you need to be aware you've got an issue.
Clay Brooks is a diagnostic technician at Cooper Lake Automotive. He says if your check engine light comes on, it may not mean you have to pull over immediately,
but it would give me pause. It would make me look at my gauges.
Check to see if your car is overheating or there are any other warning lights lighting up. Brooks also advises paying attention to any unusual noises or behaviors from your car, as this can help reduce diagnostic time.
And the less we have to work, obviously, the less it costs the consumer.
If you choose to postpone fixing a minor issue, keep in mind that it could lead to more costly repairs later on.
One of the dangers in that is that that's the only light that indicates there's a problem with your engine, and it doesn't have anything special that tells you that another issue has come up.
Brooks says to look for a shop that invests in their technicians and proper equipment as well for the job, like this, a bore scope that has a small camera on the end.
We've saved a lot of tear down. We don't have to pull the cylinder head off or a lot of other expensive options just by having the right tool in our hands.
And although many situations aren't emergencies, there are times when you could cause further damage.
When your check engine light is flashing, it's not a time for convenience. It's a time for a sense of urgency.
I have steps you should follow to find a reliable mechanic. First, ask family and friends for referrals. Second, use that mechanic for routine stuff so when something really goes wrong, you already know they're A-OK. And you should consider, is the mechanic ASE certified? ASE stands for Automotive Service Excellence. I want you to comparison shop, get a free estimate, and get the price in writing. And finally, avoid extended warranties. Most of the time, they're a waste of money.
Across the country, Americans have been paying higher fuel costs. We have a question about that.
Hey, Clark Howard. How do I get more affordable gasoline?
Without any doubt, people are beating a path to Costco Wholesale, Sam's Club, and if they're available in their area, BJ's Wholesale Club. They're taking huge market share in gasoline because the land's already there. The store's already there, so they're not paying rent for that gas station, and they use it as a way to lure people into the store. That's number one. Number two, use Gas Buddy. You're able to see the best prices on gasoline near where you are. And you can also use any of a number of apps and discount programs that will give you discounts per gallon. But the big thing, don't wait till your vehicle's on fumes to fill that vehicle up. I want you watching prices once you hit half a tank.
We'll be right back with more Ask Clark.
Still to come, it's not too late for you to ask Clark's team your question. Want to save big on your cell phone? You might have to make the switch. And we've all seen them, so many choices for streaming. Clark has the best plan for you next.
Welcome back, everybody, to Ask Clark, Living Affordably. I'm Linda Stouffer here with consumer advisor Clark Howard, who's known across the country for saving people money. Our next question is from Summer in New York.
Hey, Clark Howard, how can I increase my chances of getting a job after graduate school?
So there are several things. Number one, if you have any chance of finding an affordable program you can do during the summer overseas, you really stand out with potential employers. And the good news is, other than the cost of getting overseas, tuition tends to be cheaper in a summer program or an internship outside the United States. Right now, it's so key to stand out from the crowd.
Well, we have a question from here in our audience right now. Lena, thank you for being here.
Hey, Clark. So as we look at the current state of the economy, how can we look at different avenues to save on utility costs?
So, you know where you start? This is going to shock you. You think utilities, you're thinking power, gas, things like that. You know where there's so much money you can put back in your wallet? What you pay for that cell phone in your hand. Okay. What you pay for streaming services, and what you pay for an internet connection at your home. Those three things alone should be able for a family to reduce your costs by $2,000 a year, for an individual $1,000 a year, by reshopping all those things. You know, for internet, we used to have near monopolies for it. Now we've got all kinds of new competition. Do you know the prices are down to as little as $30 a month for your home internet?
Oh, no. Wow.
And most people are spending over $100 a month? Streaming services. If you look through your bills, you're not going to feel good to go out and eat because you're going to have an upset stomach. When you see all the streaming services you're paying for, you can't remember the last time you watched. And cell phones, there are so many discount plans now that for many people, you should be able to cut your bill per line to $15 a month. So you want to pick up some quick cash, you shop those three areas that almost all of us pay for, and you'll save a ton.
Great, thank you.
Absolutely.
Great question, Lena. And you gave me a perfect transition here because I was going to ask you about cell phones. I mean, in a generation, we've gone from one landline in the home to a cell phone for every member of the family. You have some favorites to help us save.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what's going on with the cell phone industry is a revolution that's kind of hidden. I want you to try a riddle.
Okay.
Where's the #1 place people now go to get cell phone service in America? What store?
Oh, Costco?
Walmart.
Wow.
You'd be amazed that you think so many people go to AT&T, they go to Verizon, they go to T-Mobile and go to one of their stores. But behind the scenes, you look where it's really happening, it's happening at the discounters. And people are going on to plans that you and I may not have heard of. But there are so many deals available that you can save a fortune on what you're paying every month for cell phones. And I hear from people all the time who are saving at least $1,000 a year by switching to another plan. And you don't notice any difference usually with the service.
Yeah, especially now that you can take your number with you.
Right.
We have a question from the audience. Felix.
Hi, Felix.
Hi, Clark. Streaming services. So many out there. Hulu, YouTube TV. It could be overwhelming.
Right.
Tell me how to choose the best plan for me.
The best plan for you is FAST. You ever heard the term FAST?
I have.
Free ad-supported television. If you look at where all the growth is now with streaming, it's with free services instead of paid services. But not only that, there are a lot of discounted services that you may not have heard of that do what are called skinny bundles. Yep. Are you into sports?
I am.
So you're going to lose. you aren't going to be able to use the skinny bundles. But there's a huge percent of people who don't care about sports. Hard for me to imagine. Do you know more than half of Americans don't even watch the Super Bowl? I mean, what's wrong with them?
I know.
But because they don't care about that stuff.
Yep.
So for them, going with a skinny bundle that can be $10 to $25 a month for traditional kind of what you think of as cable channels,
yep.
That's how you're going to save. But number one, I want you to look at FAST.
FAST.
I've got a guide at clark.com how to shop for FAST.
All right, sure will. Thank you.
People have a lot of questions about the future of the workforce. We have a question in the audience right now. Jessica has a question for you, Clark.
Hi, Jessica.
Hey, Clark. Over the next decade, what do you think with how AI is changing how we work, how we do everything? What do you think is the most important financial responsibilities and just things that we can do to save money and just kind of plan for the future?
Right. I mean, there's so much worry that AI is going to just take our jobs away, that we're all going to be unemployed, and it's not going to work that way. There are going to be jobs that go away, but every time we've had a big technology breakthrough, other jobs have been created. So I'm not as worried about the financial side, but what I'm worried about is a lot of people go through life with blinders on. This is what I do, so that's what I'm going to do. This is not that era. You don't want to be a sitting duck. You have to be prepared to pivot to what the marketplace is offering. And there are any of a number of jobs that a computer is not going to be able to take away from us. And so be prepared for change in your life. You know, it may even involve mid-career going back and getting a certificate in something or additional training. Thinking about other things you can take your skills and use them in if you're in a profession that you're really worried that AI could take your job away.
Thank you.
Certainly.
Stay curious and be flexible. And Clark, we have a question about retirement and being on a fixed income. Here's Patty from Pennsylvania.
As a recently retired person, how to save money, because I'm making a lot less money on a fixed income than I used to make. And so I've tried everything with my electricity as well as trying to have grocery bills that are lower.
My most important answer to you as a new retiree is something you may not want to hear, and that is pick up a little bit of part-time work. A little bit will help you where your budget just doesn't seem to fit your new financial circumstances. Working just a little bit, maybe a day a week, 10 hours a week, could make a huge difference.
You are really going to help some people by giving them that information. Thank you, Clark. And now to our audience. Tammy, you have a question for Clark.
Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Clark. How are you?
Great, thank you.
So, Clark, I am nowhere near retirement age. But if I were interested in retiring sooner than my retirement age, what advice would you give me on finding affordable health coverage until the time in which I'm able to qualify for health care?
So, affordable is a tough word, as we talked about with health care. But you got to buy on the exchange,
okay.
the healthcare.gov exchange. And in some states have their own version of it because the way the premiums are set, if you are older but not close to the age that you got Medicare, the premiums are held down under the law for people that are past age 45 and as you go up in age. So you want to buy what's known as a compliant plan. Now, if you're good with paying for routine kind of visits, then you want to buy a catastrophic version of an approved plan. Let me tell you why the whole idea of an approved plan through the website is so important. There are clear rules on coverages. If you buy a plan that is not sold through the exchange, you could think you're covered if you get a really bad medical diagnosis. And then you find out later, oh no, on page 48, it says you're not covered for that. So the brochure may look impressive. Make sure you buy a real plan that is actually following the rules of the Affordable Care Act.
Sean has a question for you, Clark.
Hi.
Hello, Clark. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
So again, with retirement, as one starts to look toward retirement, it can be very stressful. How can I intentionally get ready for retirement? What percentage of my savings should I put into the stock market? Are there better ways to invest?
So what I like when someone is on that glide path getting closer and closer to retirement is if you've always handled your money yourself, I want you to pay for at least a 1 or 2 time session with a fee-only financial planner who's what's known as a fiduciary. They're not taking your money and saying, oh, I got this place I want to put it. They're only doing a checkup with you, like a CPA would if you met with him or her, or a lawyer would, or something like that. Getting that financial checkup years before you're going to retire is the key.
Great, thank you.
Certainly.
Thank you, Clark. We'll have more Ask Clark right after this.
When we come back, getting Clark smart with your money, the free resource available to you next.
Clark, for people feeling financial stress, it can feel very lonely, but help is out there. You can find support.
We do. We have a team of volunteers in our Consumer Action Center that are here to answer your questions for free. And we have Lori Silverman from the Consumer Action Center. Lori, tell us what you do.
So Clark started this in 1993. We have volunteers who've been here for up to 20 years, very dedicated volunteers. We are open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Thursday. 636-492-5275 is our number. And anyone throughout the country and sometimes overseas calls us, and there is no question that is silly or, so if you have any kind of concern, whether you're about to buy a car or you've bought a car and you've got issues, or you've got a debt collector after you, or you've got a general question about investing, we cover everything that Clark has said today and more.
Lori, thank you. And Clark, I know you hear from a lot of people who are really stressed out right now. It can feel overwhelming, but we'll get through this.
I do know we're going to get through this. And I want you to know, no matter what your situation is right now, we're going to be okay. We have been through a lot in this century. Think about all the things that have happened, and they felt like the end of the world, and we came back strong. Have faith in yourself. Believe in your future.
We can do it. Clark Howard, thank you so much for your wisdom. Thank you for being with us here, everybody.